Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Brock the Collector here, coming back to you with another video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Tracksuit Mafia Target exclusive action figure. So this is, well, the first Marvel Legends Target exclusive of 2023. I think it's actually the first to drop this year. Because if I'm looking back, I really can't remember any. It's the first to be released. You know, they have plenty of others coming out. They got a deluxe Black Widow. They got a, what's her name? WandaVision. They got a Wanda from, what's the name of that movie? Multiverse of Madness, right. And this this Tracksuit Mafia figure is the first figure to drop this year. And, you know, we always ask for stuff like this out of the Marvel Legends line. Usually, the movie side of things don't get many army builders. Because, number one, there's not that... Well, I don't want to say there's not that much opportunity. There's ample opportunity for army building. But for some reason, Marvel Legends, the team is just apprehensive to do them. I never thought that we'd get a Tracksuit Mafia figure before anything as such as, you know, Shatari, Outriders, anything like that. But these guys are not strictly too esoteric to use in a only movie display. You know, these guys are basically just some generic street bad guys that I feel like with the interchangeable heads and the different posing options that we got here, you know what I'm saying, that people would be happy to have posing around any other figure that, you know, you can muster. So right out of the box, you'll be presented with three main items. You'll have the figure there that has the head of the dude who wanted to take his girlfriend to Imagine Dragons, but she wanted to bring like her sister or something. And you'll have two separate bags, one of which contains the extra heads, the masked heads, and the Molotov cocktail that you will have, and I believe also the bat and the crowbar. And then the other bag contains the golf club and the machete. So the figure alone here, I believe that this is not new. The jacket and the torso may very well be completely new, but the arms are reused from something. And the legs, these are, I believe they're the Mr. Knight legs, actually. No, they're definitely the same, actually. Now I'm confident to say that they are the same. Usually, if you can't tell for the preliminary, you know, look over a preliminary gloss, then you can usually go into the details of the sculpt itself and be able to tell. And that is definitely the same. Yeah. So, anyways, what you're presented with here is, in a sense, the Marvel Legends team using a culmination of pieces that they have accumulated in their expansive library to actually bring you something relatively new. And even though reuse is, you know, that's a very charged word, you have good reuse or smart reuse that more collectors are more open to seeing, because it embraces the sense of, usually smart reuse embraces, you know, more esoteric characters that wouldn't get a figure otherwise, or figures that just embody the sculpt of others naturally. And then you got lazy reuse, in which there are very different sculpted pieces and details that are omitted because of Hasbro's team's inability or lack of concern of using or actually creating those new pieces. But this is something that I don't think a lot of people were even expecting to get. I personally never had the Tracksuit Mafia on my top 10 wish list, but it is very delightful to actually get something like this, and for it to be, you know, made with at least some relatively new pieces from the library. Like, I love these pinless legs, and I feel like I'd take pinless legs over pinless arms any day. Pinless legs, actually, they prevent warping, they're a lot sturdier, help the figure stand up better, and I just think that the aesthetic looks better down there. I can sort of ignore it up here, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, going into the packaging, you can see an image of the three heads of this, well, the two heads of this figure, and then you don't actually get a figure or an image of the ski mask dude here. But they didn't include, oh damn, bro, my She-Hulk just tumbled over. They didn't include this dude, this large muscular bull that was up in there. And I hope that that means that we'll still get a figure of him at some point, maybe, perhaps, because I mean, shoot, at the end of the day, he was one of the signature ones, you know what I'm saying? He was the dude who just told this man to chill out for throwing that Molotov, you know, that fire. You had the store owners coming out and complaining about everything. Yeah, no, that was pretty crazy. But let's take a look at some of these alternate heads. Well, actually, before we do that, I'd like to guide you guys through some of the accessories. I always forget the accessory part. So here you got the machete. I don't think that this has ever been used before. I could be wrong. Maybe there's been some figure that's come with the machete before, like Typhoid Mary or something. But it's a nice machete. It's a nice sculpt. You got some little ridges here, or little teeny tiny pokes inside of it to show, you know, the grip. You got a baseball bat. In a sense, it is what it is. Looks like steel, so that would definitely hit some dude's head open. You got a golf club, which I thought was incredibly nice to include. Were they golfing when they were up inside of that like abandoned mall or something like that? Were they? I can vaguely remember that. If you guys didn't know, Hawkeye was not one of my absolute favorite shows, so I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I actually watched it twice, so I mean, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. Usually watching something twice is how I can tell whether I like something or I don't like something, and sheesh, the show just didn't resonate with me. But I thought that these guys were fine, though. It was pretty interesting. A nice change of pace for some villain putties to get them actually like that. Some of these guys were charming you. So you got that crowbar. You got this Molotov, which is actually a very nice accessory to throw in. That fire is not separable, though. But that's cool. And it's a nice green bottle. And then moving into the head sculpts, I can actually... Whoa, wow, these actually look really good in person. So you got the Kazi head sculpt here. So this is like Maya's little boyfriend. That looks very good. That looks a lot better than it did in any of the 3D renders. Because most of the promotional images for this figure were not fantastic. Like, they did not look that good. You know, even the in-life photos were looking quite... I don't know. It was just color grading and everything and lighting. Like, it just did not look that amazing. But in person, you can take a look at these heads. And I did get other figures, more figures to... or copies of this to actually take a look at the heads with. Now, you see, that does seem like a nice bevy of accessories, but honestly, in these days with talks of the value for money, I can't really say that this set is super duper value for money. It costs $27. That's pretty exorbitant, if you ask me, for something that is a figure that is essentially mainly reuse. And, you know, you got little teeny tiny accompanying pieces that come with it, but to army build for $27 a piece is expensive. I had a Target gift card, so I was just like, whew, Lord has smiled upon me. But I would say, kind of gauge the popularity of this figure. Usually exclusives at Target are pretty well stocked, and try to wait for a clearance on. Unless you're a huge fan of the series and cannot wait to get these villains, or you actually, after the quick search I did on Google, these are actually kind of a good representation of their comic book appearances. So if you just want to bulk out your array of comic book, you know, sort of villains immediately with something that is a proper substitute, I think there you go. I mean, at the end of the day, don't let anybody, you know, let you decide what is or isn't a smart way to spend your money. We're all action figure collectors, and we will buy what we enjoy. We will buy what we are excited to add to our shelves. And I was very excited to add these. These look like fantastic additions. I will say this set is handicapped by a few things. Number one, I don't understand Marvel Legends sort of compulsive, I don't know, it's an on and off sort of relationship that they have with realistic looking guns. Like, they'll do them here, but they'll avoid them there, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, they haven't just completely phased them out, but they use them in different scenarios. I'm assuming that they don't want their like actual realistic guns to appear on these sets that are going to be up in toy aisles. And, you know, they usually have the realistic looking guns in like fan channel packs and online exclusive sets. But at the same time, I mean, this is a closed box. This is a plastic-free packaging box. Like, you can easily just hide that and have it onto the back. But, I mean, shoot, that is what it is. You're kind of handicapped by that because these guys usually always use guns. I'm cool with it. This set doesn't really have much to gripe about other than the price. And honestly, that's just something that going forward with Marvel Legends is probably always going to be a point of contention. Lest, of course, they actually decide to start giving us more. But haven't you guys slowly noticed that the price of deluxe figures, or what the price deluxe figures used to be, is slowly, like, regular figures in regular boxes are slowly creeping up into that price point? I just think that it's, I don't know, at some point I just think it is kind of, you know, just, guys, calm down. Be more subtle with it, at least. But I like this set. I like the array of accessories that you get. The head sculpts are fantastic. The possibility with this set is the ski mask head, though. I mean, like, if you assemble a large group of these guys, a bevy of these guys, then you can easily get some really, really nice ACBA shots with them fighting Wolverine or Deadpool or anything like that. So I feel like that's cool. Let's take a look at some comparisons. So there's Kazi next to Kate Bishop and Clint. You got a nice array of Hawkeye figures coming out this year. This is not the end. They're re-releasing the Ronin figure, and you got a new Yelena coming. You got Kingpin. So honestly, I do like the action figure appeal of the series. These figures, absolutely beautiful. I love the duality here of the red and the purple. You know, it's very nice, very bold colors looking here. And let's get Kate Bishop next to her Russian bro, her recipient of advice, you know, dating advice. And where's the better place to start? That is a primary resource right there. You start with the lady if you want to get information on a lady. You know what I'm trying to say? And honestly, probably even good friends in a different life if they didn't have to be adversaries. We need not be adversaries, as Darth Vader would say. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, not in this universe. So that's cool. And to get all three of them there, just to see what you got going on. So that's what we have right now in terms of the Hawkeye show. And that's cool. I really like that. There would be a small audience of people who would appreciate seeing them with Deadpool. So there you got that going on. You can sort of have Deadpool fighting these guys, generic first act bad guy villain type stuff. Random freaking comparison, but I accidentally knocked over a Tumo when I was taking these guys down. So there's a look at him next to these guys. And finally, there they are next to Hugh Jackman's Logan. And real quickly, I do remember that there was a scene on the show, I think it was the bridge fight, where Kazi was wearing a trench coat. So there's a sort of trench coat thrown onto him for you so you can see how that looks. So overall, my thoughts on the figures, very, very nice. Handicapped by a few things, the set. No interchangeable fists. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, if I cut it out, but no interchangeable fists isn't great. And, you know, overall, I think that the lack of a gun accessory with these guys is kind of handicapping the amount of stuff that you can do with it. You still have some very nice accessories, machetes, etc. But, and the Molotov cocktail, I think, was a fantastic inclusion. But it just would have been nice to see that yeah, an actual, just a regular gun. But overall, I like this, man, and I like that we're expanding the Hawkeye villains. I like that we're adding some actual movie army builders. I know that's something that we've been, especially on this channel, we've been advocating for a while. And I'm always just glad to add some new figures up into the shelves. You know, maybe one day we'll get an Echo, a clearer presentation for an Echo figure. Maybe not necessarily from Hawkeye. I know that she had a show that's coming out, but I heard that that's been postponed. But we'll see about the figure, you know what I'm saying? A Maya. And yeah, we'll see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe out there. I'm gonna try to pose these guys better, but of course, I mean, losing space is a natural part of life. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.